is doing. Voldy, the new player that, as they said, just got his picture put on HLTV, his first international event, actually put up some reasonable numbers for them, so some encouraging signs from him, but it is a much different opponent now as they do play up against Astralis.
All right, here we go then, it's going to be overpass. It's Astralis versus SK Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some hype in the room. As we've got Astralis starting on the CT side, SK on the Ts. We'll see where they decide to go. So far the buy pretty conservative from SK. 4 sets of armor and a smoke grenade on the Obsidian as well. They have got one raid boss in the form of Valve. We'll see what he can do with this one. No aggression from the CTs just yet. We have got that boost towards the B bomb site. It's going to be Zipex on top, looking for that first kill. He's backed up by Kiabi as well towards that barrel area as well. So a lot of focus towards this B site. And it looks like where SK may be deciding to go as well. Modi, as Modi's pointed out, loves to work the monster tunnel. He'll be edging his way towards that position on the map. And we'll see how this one goes down. I assume will be a smoke towards upper. And just force their way into the side and try and get that first kill. But this boost would be very impactful, I feel.
And the interesting thing is leaving Kerrigan alone with these barrels, but as there's no utility on this T side, he's going to have to be killed by bullets, which means they have to confront him and get past the barrels themselves, which are very good at absorbing damage. Excellent headshot, though, onto Zipex. That forces down the boost, and Voldy wraps around, catches not only the man boosted, but the man doing so in Kerrigan. And Modi's got Kirby. Nothing he can do to deny the plant. So SK, a very good start in this pistol round. Have full control of the situation. No kits on either Dupree or Device.
Yeah, that boost didn't really amount to anything. Zipex getting headshots straight away. They couldn't land their shots. Kerrigan from the barrels area got completely wiped out as well. But here we go then. Device finding a kill on towards Wave. But you feel like this is just going to be a formality at this point. They're trying to farm some cash with these pistols. Not going to have any chance to win this round. Just trying to get those $300 per kill. It's Dupree. Device as well, just opting out of this round, decided to save their body armor. I think that's probably the best move at this point. Both pick up a kill themselves, so that certainly helps going into the next round. It's a pretty simple affair for SK. Instead of smoking towards upper, they actually smoked directly onto the bomb site there, and then planted behind the pillar as well, so they were covered from that barrel's position, couldn't be spotted for any rotating CT, so a very clinical procedure for them. And they go 1-0 here. Definitely the underdogs, you have to say. Astralis on overpass, pretty much that home map, I would say, especially for players like Dupree and Device. Device, especially with the AWP, so strong here. They need to be cautious to lock him down, but the thing for SK here, they're missing some heavy firepower. They've obviously lost Pimp, and Magic Boy's not here as well, so it's interesting to see how Val can come in here and actually fill that role, but so far he seems to be doing it very well.
Very well indeed. Cillian, first one to walk out in toward the construction area. There was a bit of a peak early on. Zipex was boosted up in behind the boards, but it's going to be just the scout onto Device. And he's over toward A, which does lend itself to 3 players in B and a pushed up Dupree in front of the bathrooms to watch Device in case they do push around behind him into A, but doesn't put him in a position to rotate fast. Modi already finding KRB. Good nade should do slight damage onto Zipex. In fact, better still than that, down to 43 as it just lobs over the edge.
Yeah,
it's going to make this very hard for Astralis.
Yeah, they've got the first pick now. They still have over a minute to play as well. They don't really need to force their way into any awkward situation at this point. Modi just clearing out that monster tunnel and seeing if he can get any more into here. Not going to find any opposing CTs for now. So they'll be giving the call to his teammates. Molotov every single position, smokes down, get the bomb plant, that's a round over that stage. And an absolute throw at this point to give anything away towards Astralis. So Modi going to be going at that Mac 10. All guns blazing here, looking to get the next kill here. It doesn't actually happen for him. It's Kerrigan that takes down Zipex, but Device fighting back with that scout.
So a bit of a team kill does take some money away from Kerrigan, but it also will take some money away from Modi, who was trying to get the kill with the SMG. But it's the intended desire to kill your teammate. Cillian's going to take down Kerrigan now, though, and Dupree trying to wrap back around and get a shot in toward the site where the bomb has been planted, cannot find a single kill. And CT's going to go down 0-2, will not be able to buy up into the 3rd round at all with this force buy, so Device needs to save this scout, but he wants to do any damage he can. Does manage to get Glaive refacing. It's a Cillian to take him down, though, and that means there will be nothing in the hands of Astralis for the next round.
Well, there it is, SK Gaming. Back towards that B side, the boost towards that sandbags area on short works out perfectly for them. It's Modi to open things up. He gets the first kill and forces the team kill towards Astralis as well. Not a huge impact to the economy these days, but still, it's going to be 2-0 in favor of SK Gaming here. Like you said, pretty much a fully kit for Astralis this round. They have got PT50s, but that's about it. Zipex with no buy whatsoever, just in the USP for him. So they can do anything with this. At this point, you think SK just need to hold back and see where the aggression lies. It looks like Device will be focusing towards that connector area, seeing if he can cause any sort of damage here, but it's going to be very difficult procedure just with that PT50. And SK now just need to stay together, utilize the range. They've got 3 AKs in hand as well. Just follow the pick, find out where there's stacks on the map, and then make their way to the bomb set together.
Already rounding that corner does get eyes on to Kerrigan, who will now fall back into A. He's done his job in getting the information. There's no sense sticking around in an unfavorable duel. Instead, they put more pressure at the front of Bathrooms. They managed to pick up the kill as well as Kirby takes down Glaive. Dupree's still on the top of the stairwell. We'll get more information, but the problem is now VODs coming down that hallway, and Dupree has to turn back to cover him off as his teammate Device was lost. AK around the corner. Grenade animation's gonna hold that off. Nice snap though, good reaction. Immediately takes the head off of Dupree, but Kirby still finding a second kill with this pistol. Is gonna leave it at 3-on-3. Encourage right now some investigation work over toward the B side as well from SK Gaming. And that's where Zipix waits. They haven't found him on the other side of that smoke as the silencer's gonna leave him completely covered off. He's rotated back around, but now they've got eyes onto him and quickly take him down as well as Kerrigan falling to Modi. It's just Kirby remaining.
Yeah, so Astralis pick up a couple of kills, and it was a nice call left from SK Gaming. Make the way to the B side, that's where Zipix was, just that USP. No body armor as well, and you can see how that affected his aim. As soon as you take one shot to an unarmored player, you can see your aim skyrocket, and you can't really do much at that stage, so it's going to be SK going up 3-0 here. KLB does manage to pick up 2 kills and save a UMP as well. We did discuss this in the previous game as well. A UMP definitely viable in gun rounds, especially on the CT side as well. Holds some tight angles, got great armor penetration, can cause some chaos in close range situations. We'll see whether he decides to keep that into the next round. I'm sure he will, as he's holding towards T-spawn right now. SK Gaming exiting together, making sure they don't give anything away, and if they do, it's going to be quickly answered back. So there it is. The underdogs for sure on this map, going up 3-0 after taking the pistol. But next round, that's where it gets interesting. Let's see whether the AWP comes out. This is where, like I said before, just as we were discussing in the pre-game, this is where Device really is so dangerous at MVP. All over the place, every single round seems to be in a different position, is getting those opening picks. The money's not going to be amazing for the CTs, but it definitely can get an AWP if they choose to do that. It's going to be a UMP dropped over with the Device, so no AWP straight away. Definitely could have got one, but they want to mix up the tactics a little bit here. Maybe an aggressive round coming in first, try and get the first pick. Like I said, with that close range encounter potential of the UMP, it's going to be AWP though onto Frizz, and we'll see whether he can pick things up here as he makes his way forward.
Modi quick down toward Monster. Smoke out on it. He'll turn toward Construction, but a smoke there as well. And Zipix going for that jump position is going to leave Modi just with a very slight angle to hold. And crosshair placement means the second jump might actually cost out Astralis in this situation. Meanwhile, Bomb in the hands of Vasilian has Glaive already clearing out that front side of the Bathrooms. Means they can start to get some presence on the map at A as well. And it'll just be fall to the default. Modi down to 27. Has to be even more passive trying to play that pick strategy over on B.
Yeah, this is the thing now. They just want to push the CTs back in the initial aggression, get them back to positions on the bomb side. That allows Frizz to get some control. You can see him holding towards long right now. He's not sure if a Device has the AWP, so he's just going to be holding on, not giving too much away. He hasn't taken a shot yet. And so like I said, push the CTs back and then give themselves control of Bathrooms, maybe long A as well, then he can try and open up the map for them. But at this point, once again, Modi is holding towards B, seeing if he can work a pick, being a little bit of a nuisance for SK Gaming here. At this point, Dupree still holding strong. He wants to find that first kill with the M4A4 towards middle.
The problem is exactly that. Device was nowhere near a position where he could play off of him because he'd gone so far back inside of the site, and when he did peek out to get the information, Freeze gets him down, so now Dupree's forced to try and make the play alone. When the smoke kill wait, Flash goes through. He's actually going to take advantage of this, but they go by. He's gotten around them. He's totally behind them. They think he's going to be open. Freeze is inside of the Bathrooms. He's the only one that can stop this, but Voldy again with good reactions manages to get him down with only one loss. That's a big kill and a big trade because it could have easily been 2 players down and Freeze with an AWP wouldn't have been able to defend himself in that position. Instead, he finds Zipix, and it is still the man advantage for SK. Flank coming in for Kirby. He's spotted by Modi, and it's all to Kerrigan.
There we go then. It's going to be a 2-versus-1 situation after he gets the drop on towards Frizz. Bomb ticking away there, but look at the positions of the terrorists. Perfect crossfire here. Don't need to give anything away until he touches the bomb. So 18 HP to work with. Does find the first kill though. A chance. Goes to the full defuse, and he knows he has to do something magical here to pull this one off. Smoke goes down onto the bomb. Make things uncomfortable for the terrorist there, but gets his position away, and there it is. Modi finishes things off. So a close round there, but as predicted, it was SK Gaming pushing the CTs back, getting that first kill with the AWP. Device just with the UMP himself couldn't really do much of that. And it was interesting he didn't take the AWP. Definitely had enough economy to do it. And we say he's so deadly on this map. Gives SK a free pass that round.
I mean, especially the angles he played.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they set up a rifle crossfire in front of the Bathrooms. He played out toward long and then fell back toward bank, which is the 2 ideal AWP positions.
Absolutely. And it was Dupree as well, sorry. He pushed for that smoke. He should be getting 2 kills in that position. He had all the time in the world to compose himself to get 2 kills. But like you said, Val, with the reaction, turns around and gets the exchange and brings in the man advantage. So we go into round number 5. This is looking very promising for SK. Currently 4-0 up on the T side of 11 pass as well, against Astralis no less. This round, excuse me, this round they have pistols and some body armor, but not really much to work with. Dupree, one of those players, is going to be dropped straight away by Chris with the Mac 10, and VOD chimes in as well. So they're making a 5-on-3 here. That's pretty much the round over, as you can see. The rest of the CTs were stacked towards B. At this point, looks like SK are actually going to be going towards that area as they're rotating over towards A. So this is a bit of a nightmare situation for Astralis. Just don't have any intel, nothing to work with, and kind of hoping that some terrorists walk into the crossover at this point.
The good news in terms of found a good shot. Madi down to 28. Blaze going to take down KRB. Zipix actually manages to get away with that 16 HP on the spray from Madi. But the good news is where they've stayed passive on their buy this time with the full lost round bonus, they'll get 3,400. Device is already sitting at 3,550. So they're going to be in an easy position. Next time, surely they have to go for the AWP, but easy position to get a full buy-in. Potentially bring this back to 5-1 right away, but then you've also still got the reset potential, so we'll see how effective they can be in doing it. And SK has been very good at playing this slow and just taking, as you say, pushing the CTs back and taking map control from them. Just
really nice default so far from SK, just playing the game as it should be, getting control of the map and executing efficiently into the bomb site, working out very well for them. It's going to go to 5-0 advantage here. Next round's where we get interesting. We'll almost certainly see the NWP come out for Astralis next round. And they'll probably go for that aggressive pick, send a message out to SK Gaming, you can't just want these picks every single time. We are going to answer back at some point. And Device now has managed to get a good kill. The Mac 10, he's got head armor as well, so trying to stay alive at this point. He knows he can't win the round, so if he can save the head armor into round number 6, that'd be beneficial for sure. He'll be aware of his position and doesn't want to go down here, but it will happen. It's going to be Glaive that takes him down in the end. 5-0 has been achieved, but there's the AWP for Device. Here we go then. The danger man for Astralis. We'll see whether he can open things up. Hasn't really come to life on this map so far. Currently set on 4-for-4. He's almost certainly going to go for an aggressive pick, maybe towards long or towards the monster tunnel. Looks like long towards this time, but we'll see whether Frisk can knock him down.
He's going to get himself up on the flower pod as well. Dupree this time plays more aggressively toward connectors so that he can potentially, Device rather, can potentially bait them in toward Dupree's position, and they can set up a crossfire together with this M4. The other three players over on B with Kerrigan inside of the window, and Kierby a little bit more aggressive toward Monster this time. Is going to play between the two choke points and either play off the flashes from his teammate or try and catch them if they push through this smoke at Monster. But again, SK just being really slow and calculated about this. Once more, it's Madi that's playing the anchor over on the B position. Hasn't pushed into construction this time. He's waiting for a push through from Astralis, knowing weapons are going to be back up, but he's got enough information that they can at least try and rotate back through the mid-stairs, and exactly that. Having mid-stairs, they've also got some presence at the front of bathrooms with Freeze and Asilian. Kirby gets caught looking entirely the wrong way as well, and Madi gets away with it for free because Zipix had just changed his angle to play off in front of sandbags.
Yeah, we talked about Madi having that lurk potential, and he's delivered once again. Finds that first kill, takes down Kiabi, one of the strongest fraggers in the Astralis team. 5-4 now. The reaction needs to come in. You can see Dupree doing it on the minimap right now. He's pushing long, trying to get some intel here. If he can get this kill towards the city, he's got the bomb as well. This could be massive. Can't land the shot though. That could have been it to get them back into this round. He would have had control of the bomb. Asilian, a little bit careless to be in that position with such a high-profile target as well. The bomb in his back. That's going to be holding out. Showing more presence towards B, doing some damage as well, trying to push them back as his teammates join him as well. Zipix gets the next kill, and Loud jumps in as well. It's going to be a heavy advantage here for SK. 4-on-2 now, and Device taking a ton of damage there. Goes down to 13 HP.
And they're going to have to get out of this. They're already going to have to bail off this. There's no entrance into the site. Device on 13, like you say, there's only one kid. It's on Dupree. He's late to arrive on the rotation, and good call from SK to get back over onto that B site once Madi found that original kill. And not only that, Madi, he lurks in, he falls away. He knows they have the pick. There's no sense in him trying to push through and find the second player inside B, if not a third, because it's often, again, we saw Kerrigan at the window. They play 3 in that B site, so really good job by him. And Dupree did, like you say, have a chance to pull that back and gave the information to his teammate, but this is a huge problem.
What's so good about that call from SK Gaming as well, as soon as they ascertained there was a player pushed out towards long, they made the call to go straight towards the B side. You know what, that works so well? They've got information of Dupree's long. For him to rotate all the way to the B side, they're going to be a man down regardless. They're going to have such a huge advantage. They've only got to pick, and the fact they know Dupree's towards long as well, potentially backed up by another player there as well. It's a great call from them, very reactive stuff, and they go up 6-0 here. SK Gaming looking incredibly strong. I think we have a pause coming in. This is unlike Astralis right now. Going down 6-0 on the CT side of the overpass, potentially their strongest map as well, what they're most known for being so dominant on. And they haven't really got going here whatsoever. Device, we said he's the danger man, hasn't really had that much impact so far. That AWP hasn't really been working out for him. And we go into round number 7. This will be a full pause. You can see the economy for the CTs right now doesn't really have enough potential for a buy here. It's currently set on average about 3K. Maybe a little bit more, 3.2, but still, it's going to be a difficult procedure for them going into the next round. I think it will be a quasi-buy, partial buy, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be pistols and body armor, some grenades. They'll be stacked towards the B site. Hopefully that's where they can find some confrontation. It's been a heavy point of interest for SK Gaming here, but as players like Modi just so confident in his ability to walk into the site, getting the timing very much so in his favor. Walking to that B site through Monster Tunnel, gets the first kill with Kiabi, just had no idea what was going on there. And Astralis got an absolute mountain to climb there.
And this is a best of one to go straight through to the semifinals, the winners game of this group. So it's not elimination for either side if they do fail to achieve this, specifically speaking about Astralis right now, but more importantly for SK, if they can close this out, if they can continue in this fashion, then they have a great chance. I mean,
the thing is,
semi-final for them would be huge.
I've never seen SK Gaming look this composed. They're normally quite a frantic team, and a lot of misplays coming into them. They've got great players, then great fraggers like Magic Boy normally, and Pimp obviously, then they can actually have the reactions and they can rectify those mistakes. But right now they're playing textbook Counter-Strike. It's very composed, they're working picks and making correct decisions, waiting for the reaction to the CTs. It's very simple CS, but very effective. Everyone's contributing as well. They're having good reads in their pushes and their flanks as well. They're actually very impressed with this SK team. They've already taken down a huge scalp here in the form of Immortals. And this is a team that have very little practice. They've lost two of their headline players and they're looking stronger than ever. And obviously we have that honeymoon period, these kind of lineups. It's very hard to download what a team will do and work out. You don't have the demos available to see what kind of approach they'll have. So this is working in SK Gaming's favor so far, and they're looking impeccable.
Well, one of the things, interestingly, I know you said there's two stand-ins in, but just as a general, the other three, the rest of the team, and Magiskoy right now is in the middle of exams, and that's why he's not here. But they said with the previous roster, when Pimp was still on board, the practice time was down, severely down. They just couldn't get it rolling. They couldn't get it orchestrated as a team and get the time in, get the hours in to really work things out. And now that they've gone to this new lineup, again, two stand-ins, that's the big storyline, that they're still doing it, but they've almost tripled their practice time, apparently.
Yeah, so it's very impressive so far. I'm a big fan. Well, here we go. Then round number 7, of course, has finished. It's going to be aggressive play for the CTs here towards our fountain area. But there it is. Fritz in the city and opening things up, staying defensive and hitting every single shot possible. It's going to be the first, make it 4 frags coming in now for the terrorists. Device left with 15 HP and a CZ. He's going to be towards short and surely not going to get anything out of this. If he gets 1 kill, that'll be something pretty special. Just a lot of damage, and there it is. Headshot towards Wild, but position given away at this point. This is the bomb towards the A site, and that'll be the round over. He doesn't manage to pick up a rifle as well. I'm sure they'll be hiding that and making sure he doesn't get his hands on it, but 7-0 on the T side of Overpass, especially for I guess we'll call it a mixed team, considering they have these stand-ins. This is a very difficult map to actually get. You say they've had maybe 2 or 3 weeks back to tops, let's say absolute tops, 2 weeks. And to actually have that 7 maps to work on, having Overpass as one of them, against Astralis, have this kind of scoreline, that's very impressive so far.
And Astralis just not looking composed at all. I mean, Device, we're normally seeing hitting all kinds of shots on this map. He misses on the AWP on the retake on B. He doesn't have the AWP on the first gun round, gets taken down playing a long angle. And I have to say Vald as well, in some of these fields, Valdi's been extremely impressive.
Yeah.
Snaps back and catches Dupree off, trying to go for the 2-kill flank, and this time it's going to be Glaive that leads out toward the A site. Dupree's a little bit more aggressive. Device again on the rifle, not onto the AWP. They couldn't bring it out in this particular round. Actually, I take that back. He's got 1,500. They could have potentially brought that up again.
Yeah, maybe Device isn't feeling it today. He's got a little bit confidence issue after going down 7-0 here. Going to have to 5 rifles. It was aggression at the start of the round, but falling back to a more standard setup now. We're putting that bathroom area. Zipex and Kiabi a little bit more focused towards the Monster Tunnel this time. Modi's been an absolute thorn on their side. And round number 8 coming in. Time ticking away, but there it is. Finally, something to work with here. Zipex gets the first kill. That's the lurk potential of Modi. Extinguished. 5 and 4. So haven't really got much control of the map. They haven't got towards bathrooms or long A yet. They're trying to force their way into this position now.
Again, he's going to play aggressive. That smoke out this time. He's not looking to push through it right away. So his first pick against Modi is extremely significant. Kirby's able to anchor off on Monster, gives Zipex a chance to... Oh, good shot, though. He actually gets hit through those boards. Over on B. I was going to say a chance to just get in a better position to rotate over, but with that damage done on him, they're going to leave this as a 3-2 split on defensive side, and Dupree, Device, Kerrigan, all 3 get far more passive in the A site. So as time dwindles down, they're trying to lure them in and just not give anything away, not allow them to get 1 kill with no advanced rotation, and then therefore get overwhelmed on entry. They just want to stay alive. They can play these crossfires and delay the plant.
Look at this, 20 seconds remaining. They're smoked out of position as well. This is an ideal setup for Astralis. They've got to capitalize on it.
Dupree's in that corner, flash out. No one able to see him yet. Thankfully, the smoke's distracting. Kerrigan's the one with the kill. Device follows up, and now Dupree. Again, the flash timing's off, but he will go, and he'll get both. And finally, Astralis get 1 round on the board, and they do it efficiently, so all 5 stay alive. reset potential not as much of a factor in that sense.
Yeah, they have to reinvest in the grenades, but you're absolutely right here. You can see Device, even after that investment, he still has 4K remaining. So they still can definitely get M4s if they were to lose this round. Potentially won't have the AWP, but let's see what they can do here. Round number 9. Big one for both teams here. Zipex had opened things up in round number 8 and forced SK back to the A side. So it was really nice utility play there from Astralis. They locked them out for so long and forced them into a really unfavorable situation with no time remaining, not enough to actually check all the key positions, and they got locked out of the A side at that point. But we're going more to a default setup this time. SK Gaming not going to be showing their hand towards a particular area. Everyone's set up for these initial pushes at the start of the round. AWP now in the hands of Device. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if he can get rolling here. Going to be facing towards long A. Definitely a position he's known for, but not going to be on the flower bed this time. Just holding the corner.
Dupree in the inside of the bathrooms as well. Slight change. That Molotov. Going out in front. And there's a rotation back over toward Evolve. Still trying to find a chance shot through the boards. This is the interesting thing again, where you say not playing up with the fire prop. Device is already rotated back toward Bank, and there's given up quite a bit of room on that A long position for Freeze to try and get some information, but they've only got 48 seconds to do it, and it is a long rotation-based map, so they might have to do it quickly.
Definitely rattled Device's confidence here. We said on Overpass, one of those players is always opening things up, super aggressive. That's when he gets the confidence out, when he's hitting his shots and he's feeling it. But so far, he's getting pushed back and hasn't had a tremendous amount of impact to the game so far. But let's see what he can do as the time ticks away once again. It's going to hit the 25-second mark, and it looks like a B-sided attack once again. And the CDs have such a huge advantage with this time ticking away.
Oh, it's a smart second flash. Zipex was waiting to turn on the edge of the monster. He does still find one kill. Glave's got Gearby down. That's going to leave Zipex in the open, but that second flash, Zipex timing slightly off, so he gets away with one kill, but again, the trade's favorable. Dupree's managed to get inside construction, though. He has no idea where Freeze is, but that leaves Glaive in an absolutely horrible position, completely surrounded by Astralis. And 2 seconds, Freeze at least saved the AWP, but it is going to be back-to-back rounds now for, I was about to say for the Danes, that doesn't really work, but for Astralis.
Well, there it is. It's SK Gaming now. I think Astralis have worked out what's been going on. It's that lurk from Modi has been an absolute nuisance for them, but they managed to kind of lock that position down, and it seemed like they're completely locking SK out of the round and not giving those picks away for free now, and it's actually working SK into the bomb site before they actually get any sort of contact at this point. So actually working out very nicely now. So that's 2 in a row. Let's see if they can continue their full mid. Device looking a little bit more confident going for that initial mid pick at the start of the round, and nails the shot as well. Takes down the AWP in the form of Frisk and gives them the man advantage now. So this is a chance now for Device to really get rolling. We'll see what they can do. The Tempos are reacting pretty fast. Brazilian making his way out towards long A. This gets spotted by Device, but he misses the shot.
Well, the problem is, though, for Device, so smartly smokes this off. Glave's watching the front of the bathrooms. Dupree was not in a position for Device to get out, and now he'll just barely do so at long. Meanwhile, Kirby goes down to Madi, again lurking on this B site. But Device, that's another shot that we'd normally see him hitting. That nearly cost him. And thankfully, as a team, they're able to pull him back toward the sites, keep him alive, leave this in a 4-on-4. And this time, though, unlike previous rounds when Madi's able to find that opening pick, they're not going to immediately rotate onto B. They're still going to commit to this A site. Bomb drop back toward the playground. And Glave's going to lead the charge with this AWP as well. And it's such a tough position to play with this Device Dupree setup because it's basically covering the entry. It gives them so much room to work, and Device has an AWP up close where he's been missing a lot of shots so far.
They've got enough time to actually execute to a bomb site. I think it may be a little bit of a reason. The smoke's coming to the A side. It's Carrigan that picks up the first kill, and it's going to be a 4-on-3 now as Modi makes his way towards the B side. We have got 2 CDs pushing off short, waiting for the rotations here.
This is so smart because they catch out Modi. Zipex needs to be aware of the fact that he's gone. That's the only one out toward T-spawn and look back toward the stairs, but having lost him and having no further information, SK's gone back toward A, and it's just Dupree that's in a prime position to try and shut them down. Device again with a longer angle has to get them once they've got to the stairwell, but it does hit the shot. Cillian falls. And with 10 seconds, Glave's going to try and escape. Not to be. Look at Zipex's position. Oh, I say that. Crosshair was there, but he was midair, so couldn't land the shot.
Well, it seems like Astralis have found that killer instinct now as Device going towards middle of the start of that round. Takes down the AWP, that takes away any sort of pick that SK had in mind at the start of the round. He falls back, and once again, it's a battle of time at that point. SK is running the clock down, and it's just great positional control for Astralis, pushing off towards shore, holding the rotations. They're getting a ton of information for their team, and SK Gaming now on towards the Tech-9s and PD-50. They have the utility here. That normally means a full execute towards the B site. Wall of smokes come down, try and get the plant. As that bomb does go down, makes things a little bit more uncomfortable with the CDs here, but they're reading this pretty well. Grenades come in. Let's see if they're taking at the plant there. I think they probably will. But Zipex got over right there. It's double spray down for him. Lovely stuff.
You know, Kirby's been in behind those barrels before, so a little bit of pre-fire with the Tech 9s. It pays off, but not before VODs lost. Over Asilian on the Zipex. If they went for the plant on those, maybe canceled out with Kerrigan coming in for the flank, but another good pickup. AK now for Asilian. It's just a 1 versus 2. Freeze was able to pick up 1 before going down, so he's giving himself a chance here, Asilian. Bomb dropped on that catwalk position, though, and Dupree's just going to sit back, no peeking, and just watch to make sure that when Asilian goes for it, he's got the information, but damage done through the edge of the boards. It's Dupree on 5. It's still a minute to work with. Good Molotov. That'll disallow the chance for an immediate plant, but Asilian again controls the angle and gets back toward the sandbags.
Well, the CT's now sticking together, using the buddy system here. They know Dupree's low as well. He can be the bait for Device. Find out the information. Hopefully he can land the AWP shot here, but they're waiting for Asilian to make the next move. As soon as they hear the bomb being planted, that's when they can go in together. The problem is there's so much time available, and they've lost track of him as well. They're not sure if he's going back to the A side. They may have to separate here, but there it is. There's the trigger, and the injury comes out, but it's a little bit too late. That will force Asilian to face, but Dupree can't really justify committing to this one. He finds the kill on Device as well. 5 HP on Dupree to try and get this 1 versus 1 situation working in his favor.
This is incredible. If this works out, pistols on the way through, and they get it. Asilian through the smoke. He gets the perfect read, 4 kills for him, and it all started when they took down Kierby behind the barrels. The trade, the 1-for-1 trade where Freeze picked it up because that allowed the bomb to get onto the site, and then the Kerrigan kill on the flank allows Asilian to just play it out from there.
Very intelligent play from Asilian. One of the players we don't talk about too much in SK is more of the support role, but still, it's very interesting to see him play like that. That's actually very intelligent. He had so much time to play with. Got Astralis doubting themselves, and they started rotating towards the A site. That's when he pounced as well, and Dupree didn't have the HP to try and stop that plant. He gets the kill on towards Zappa and locks things down. Great eco there for SK Gaming. They take things to 8-3. Winning the half here, round number 12 coming in. Still a full buy here from Astralis. Device with the AWP once again. Does get the boost towards the short tunnel this time, but no one going to be coming towards that area, so he needs to readdress himself and work out where he's going to go to next.
Interesting note as well as Device does lead the way for frags right now. Tied with the greatest in the server, which is Valde at 9, but again, the AWP hasn't been as prominent for him, and the impact hasn't been as resounding. Speaking of Valde, he's going to get back down toward, well, he's going to get back down toward the stairwell position. Kirby already in construction.
Yeah, well, he's with Device as well, so they've got a really nice setup here. Zipex watching towards that monster tunnel for that Modi. Low potential to come in, but it's Device and Kirby will come down to this first kill. Device watching the door like a hawk here. As soon as it gets open, surely going to get this next kill, but it's going to be a very controlled play from the terrorist, not going to give anything away at this point.
There's the shot. Device does land it this time. Bomb was dropped in that short tunnel as well by Kirby, so they just need to hold this angle, but caught with the flash out. Device does respond though by getting Modi, and then Asilian through the wall. Good round this time from him. Freeze will answer it, but 1 versus 3. He's managed to pick up the bomb, a great positioning, and Zipex through the smoke takes him down to 31.
At this point, I think it's probably worth saving. You see, he has got the bomb and only 25 seconds remain. The fact is the AWP. Take that to the next round. He's got 2 flashes of smoke and a Molotov as well. It's a lot of utility to take to the next round. He'll just be trying to get into the most sneaky position he can and chase the next round. It is going to be a full reset now for the terrorists. They're only going to get $1,400 into the next round. So we saw it before on Cobble. 1 AWP can be enough to actually find you some opening picks here, especially with Astralis playing this sort of setup right now. They're very aggressive towards that construction area and pushing off towards short. But it worked out very well for them. Device picking up 3 kills. We said he hasn't had too much impact this round, but the rounds they are winning, he's the one opening things up, and he gets 3 kills and locks it down and finds Astralis' 4th round here. We're going to number 13. And it's going to be a little bit of a force buy here from SK Gaming with that AWP. 2 Tech 9s, an AK and a Gillo on towards Asilian. They have got smokes to play as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another B-sided approach. Nice and fast into the site, trying to allow that position for Frisk to actually look towards upper platform to see whether he can get everything going. Device once again, fast towards middle. Haven't spotted anything though. That's a ton of information gathered at least. You can see Kiabi ready for this B-side of attack. It comes in, it's a contact approach as well.
Nade's going to bounce and do damage onto Asilian. As Zipex was holding down the weapon as the nade went in, so they're easily able to take them down through Monster. Last 2 players, Glaive and Freeze. Only finding 1 with Freeze on that AWP. Dupree able to take him down immediately after it. It's 4 players left alive again. Astralis bank account starting to swell. They've got at least a round in hand, so if they lose 1, they'll be able to buy regardless.
Yeah.
Whereas on SK's side, it's only 2 rounds built up, so they're not in a great position at all.
Yeah, there's definitely be a hard eco for them this time. Now, forced by not really finding anything. They went for the simple B approach, which can be very effective, chucking it in every now and then. There's 3 players for response tunnel, hoping there's a boost from the CTs or something like that, but CT's set up for that very well indeed. They find the opening kills and lock it down. It's Device. Not on the AWP this time, it's actually Carrigan. He must have had a better spawn, but it's Dupree finding that first kill against Frisk. They know they're up against pretty much nothing here, so it doesn't matter too much what guns are in what hand. It's going to be Device and Dupree knocking it down, just Modi remaining now. A throwaway round at this stage. In that situation, doesn't want to give any kills away. Keep the economy strong here. We're going to round number 15. Final round in this first half. And what started off so strongly for SK Gaming, actually going up 7-0. And it's slowly slipping away from them. Only finding one since that initial lead. It's going to be 8-6 here, and you have to say, Astralis looking like they've kind of worked out the approach from SK Gaming. Standard rounds, working lurks, and seeing if Frizz can open it up. But once Device found his confidence, he's been playing lights out since that point. So once again, he goes towards long, but looks like he wants to go for the first pick once more. Change his position up. This is what I wanted to see from Device.
Well, it's aggressive, and they haven't crossed over yet. It could work out. Tries to get the shot toward the tree, and actually does tag Asilian down to 31. So now the accuracy and reactions are on, but no kill from this. It's going to allow SK a little bit of breathing space. They do have the crossfire set. They switch it out, so Device is going to watch inside of the bathrooms toward the connection position, and Dupree now has control from the rock. Freeze staring it down, but doesn't fire in, thankfully.
I can feel it brewing there, but it's not going to matter. He gets a bigger target here. Device goes down. Kiabi answers back on towards Modi once again, lurking to grab the area. Caught by himself, 4 and 4. The bomb's still down towards the middle. We can see Dupree going by himself, but falling back to the bomb site here. They've got a ton of information. Going to be grouping up. Once they got their kill towards Modi and there's no one else with him, they can probably take an educated guess. It will be an A-sided attack at this point. Glaive has got control of bathrooms there, so still potential here to do an execute.
And they're trying to find out exactly where Dupree's gone. He's gonna get found right now, flash over, good timing, but he keeps his vision enough to get one. A reface from Kerrigan, and it's an equal trade again, so still 2 plays onto 2. VODs come back to get into the front of the site, but Freeze not yet in a position to help work with him on that AWP. 3 kills, by the way. Freeze has all of them right now for his team in this round. And Smoke Off has a slight gap. Zipix is going to fall back and try and hold a better angle, but they're rotating this back over. It's a late rotate, 20 seconds. They'll get there to plant with about 15, but Kierby's going to greet them, which could slow this down and delay this. All he needs to do is just keep Freeze in position as well for the flank, and it becomes a huge possibility, but Freeze, now with this forced round, the flank doesn't happen. Zipix goes back the other direction. So now he's got to do this 1 versus 2 kit up, but low HP, thankfully, on Freeze. One
of the best clutches in the game, it's Zipex, but with no utility here, he's going to have to rely on his brain and his aim. As he heads into the bomb site, there's going to be a player into that smoke. It's going to be Frizz. He's low HP, looking for the ace here, but Zipex not getting anything so far. Time ticking away as well.
Oh, that is so desperately close. He actually does a stray bullet. The last one taps it out. Volta just needs to not peek this and exactly what he's done. There is a kit. He could have actually held that down, but the nerves from Valdi right now to suggest that he's not on it work out. He gets the kill, and it's going to go to 9-6 SK.
Balls of steel required there from Volt not to face. It's a 1 versus 1, a huge round as well. SK Gaming pick up number 15. Zipex unable to deliver the goods there. Did find the kill through the smoke on towards Frizz, but he'd already found 4 kills at that point, just about to finish things off. And that's a great half, I have to say, for SK Gaming to win against Astralis on Overpass, especially getting 9 rounds as well. Very impressive stuff. They did drop off towards the end of the second half, but that last round really did give them a formidable lead here. If they can win the pistol, they've got a real chance of winning this map. They're looking great as a unit so far. But I have to say, good adaptation from Astralis. After going down 7-0, they took the pause, had a discussion as to what was going on. It seemed like Modi was a real problem for them, especially towards that B side of walking in. I think Lorna's pointed it out on the desk. He's got so much potential there to find the headshots. He's a really a veteran of CS himself, can read those situations, has that gut instinct to want to push in, get called from his teammates, very intelligent in that fashion. And once Astralis worked it out, they locked him down, and there was that aggressive play towards the construction and pushing off towards short and getting the positional control, got them back into this game. And Device showing up as well with some aggressive plays. Well then.
Yeah, I mean, again, SK in this tournament, this is set to turn around, all things considered, but Astralis now go on their T campaign. They'll start things off with a Tech-9 raid boss on Kierby, so putting some faith in the youngster, the newest player on the team. Kerrigan, the one to drop that over, is going to have the bomb. A smoke. Dupree. Decoy, why not? See if it works out. Meanwhile, it's a single kit for Asilian. He's also got the smoke bought up. He's got the first shot, though. It is Zipex to fall. There's your raid boss gone. No head armor. That won't stop the USP. And Valdi, he's got 3 kills in the bathroom. He's showing off a ton of skill this weekend as Dupree's finally got him down, but that still gives the man advantage to the SK Gaming side.
Yeah,
and look at Modi's position.
Very impressive display there from Val. It's going to give the 3-on-2 situation. Kerrigan, bomb in hand. He's got the Tech-9 as well. So there's a smoke available as well. They could smoke towards CD spawn or bank, but Modi, like you said, lurking once again. Kerrigan needs to be very careful here as Dupree edges up towards long, looking for that first pick. He's got the silent USP as well. Perfect weapon to do it, but not going to find anything just yet.
Madi's still getting ever closer to this position as well. Kerrigan will round the corner and be out of harm's way. They're going to go for the default plant. Dupree to hold it off, but Madi's going to be on them post-plant immediately. Can't still find the angle, but does Dupree have any inkling he's here? He's going to slowly check the bathrooms, does hit the shot, and Kerrigan's got a Cillian down. It's suddenly turned around because Glaive's now in the 1 versus 2. Back of the site, no kit on him. There is one dropped off inside of the site. Remember, I believe it was a Cillian that had it, and there it is, exactly that, at the top of the stairs. He's going to grab that, go for it. Communication made, but he's got to still find these 2 kills because Dupree's got one side of the site held off. And Kerrigan's still on the stairwell, be able to wrap back around onto him. They're not even going to face this. They're not even going to play it until Dupree has to, and it's perfectly done.
Huge round there from Dupree. What started off as an absolute nightmare. VOD picking up 3 kills. You thought that was it. Round over, but it's composed play from Dupree. Once he picked up that silence USP as well, edges his way up towards long by himself. Gets the information, there's no CD presence there whatsoever. The plant comes in and just really great teamwork there. Perfect crossfire, not giving anything away from that bank area as well, just making sure it's just an impossible situation for CD to come in. And Astralis giving himself a real fighting chance in the second half, going to be going up 1-0 here. And it is a force buy from SK Gaming, interesting enough. Frizz, obviously the AWPer, he won't be investing anything, wants to make sure he has that AWP in the first gun round, but they're definitely limiting themselves in terms of grenades going to see what the other can do. Lots to go down to a Cillian, quickly answered back by Dupree there. 4-on-4 still heavily favors Astralis. Vowed hiding behind that smoke in middle with the 5-7, seeing what he can do here.
Price does spot the shoulder of Glaive, but can't that bullet directed in the exact right position to take him down. So it's on Valdi right now to try and make this play with Freeze going to bait them in from the stairwell. Astralis is trying to be careful to figure out if there's a stack, get some information exactly where SK is playing from, but it's Madi that's got the better position in that sense because pushed up at B right now inside of construction, he'll be able to make a lot of call. And not only that, he's going to start to go for another lurk play where he potentially, and this time even more so, could be on the flank, catch them out. Valdi's got the bomb down, again plays it perfectly. Xyp9x will go for the trade, but there's Madi, back onto it, bomb still in the possession of the CTs, and Dupree on the edge of the smoke, falls to Glaive. Madi, don't, there we go.
We questioned the force fight there, but how can you argue with the results? SK Gaming, really tight crossfires there, and is finding all the kills with the 5-7s. And Astralis, wondering what in God's name just happened to them there. Had such an advantage. It came down to the 4-on-4 initially, but it's SK Gaming stepping up, and they take the advantage as well. 7. You can see the force fight from Astralis can be very deadly with his Desert Eagles and Tech 9s. They have got a couple of smokes and flashbangs to play with, but you look at players like Dupree in these situations, especially on overpass, great at finding the initial picks. Any CTs are maybe a little bit too impatient with the initial setup, but it's not going to happen this time. It's Glaive that goes for the aggressive face towards the short tunnel. Dupree goes down, they're trying to rectify it and try and get the frag back, but Glaive's holding so strong here, finally goes down. But he's done a lot of damage here, finds 2 kills, and it's a 4-on-3. Still a smoke remaining for Xyp9x, he upgrades to a Desert Eagle here, looking for that next pick, and Modi could be a victim of it, but manages to avoid it.
In doing so, we'll get a better position inside of the B site. More passive, no less, but still a fine place to play with the M4. And he actually is going to go even more passive as he gets over toward Catwalk instead. Kirby makes a little bit of noise. That'll be heard by Madi. Leaves a Cillian toward the window as a result, so they don't completely abandon the site on the off chance that they are rotating over early. And Valdi's going to be the one this time to go for the fast rotation, as Madi, though, can't find the kills. Damage done to both Kirby and Xyp9x. It's Device, the one with the bomb, though. He's going to get that down. Now, that's big in itself, as Kirby picks up a Cillian, because it does get the money rolling again, despite being ecoed off. But look at this. Xyp9x finds one more. Madi gets behind the barrels, does pull it back. They've got Freeze already on top of this. He's got a kit and the smoke out. This becomes such a hard proposition, but the flash is discouraging enough. Freeze gets away from it, and they are going to push back in. They're going to keep them off of this. Smoke goes out. Freeze is desperate. He needs to get toward this bomb. Thankfully, Madi's got one, but Xyp9x has the lineup down. There's still time that he can fake this, but Xyp9x through the smoke, it's back-to-back ecos.
It's one of the scrappiest exchanges I've ever seen on the B side, but Astralis do take the round. Xyp9x in the 2 versus 1 in the end is spamming his Tech 9 through the smoke there, finds both kills as well. SK Gaming panicking a little bit there. And what looked like a promising situation for them after coming back to the force fire to Astralis to return the favour. And it seems like it will be more of attrition there. Everyone force buying, trying to answer back, but this time a much more promising prospect for Astralis there. They've got the rifles, 1 MP7 against pistols and the scouts and SK here. Surely not going to be able to take this round, it just doesn't have the firepower with the range that Astralis have.
Kerrigan now, the one to hold off the lower tunnels. It is a Cillian that's watching out toward that, from that flower bed rather, out toward long A with that scout. Glaive is trying to do battle with Kerrigan. Device down there to support him though is going to give the favorable position to Astralis. That's going to give away his position. Kerrigan absolutely heard that, no questions asked. Already turns back to it, tries to figure out exactly where he is, but he's gone up the stairwell, thankfully, and now the attention turns back onto the B site. Device can actually just sit and wait for Glaive, so even though Kerrigan's going to give up that position, the flank potential isn't there. Device will catch them off as Dupree trades with Monty, but again, it's Valdi who's finding kills and fights forward. His teammate coming out, he thinks it's a safe zone, but all he's really done is limit himself, isolate himself from that B site. Sure, he stays alive to be a nuisance. If he hits this shot, though, he could give himself a chance to shut down the bomb plant because they are discouraged. They're not taking that through Monster right now. The rotations come over so quickly, and Free's in a position to pull back on Dupree.
Yeah, look how much damage he's been taking as well. That USP becomes a lot more dangerous, but still, it's going to be Zipex bringing things back into Astralis' favor as he gets the kill. And now a 3-on-2. Cillian and Friss in a horrible position. What looked like it was going to be a promising prospect, but here we go. Device showing his hand towards A while his teammates will be going towards B. So this is actually really nice from him. He's pulled away both CTs. There wasn't much time remaining, but assuming it was being an A-sided attack, but here we go. Bomb planted towards B. That's pretty much round over this stage. I think they probably want to save the scout. Freeze with the USP, he can try and get one of these fallen weapons, but they don't have the kits or much to play with there, so Zipex finds a kill on towards him, and Friss now, still, USP still very dangerous considering the HP, and that's exactly why.
Well, low HP indeed, but
There's the gun.
Freeze does pick up that AK. That could be certainly enough to get kills in this, but enough to potentially even force them out of hiding early enough that he can take them down because it is low HP. There's still time to work with on this. He's going to chase it.
No way.
Device goes down.
No way.
But no kit.
He's got that.
He does have that. That's incredible that they give up that much time and that much space. It's close, but he should have this.
That's a sick play from Friss. He had a USP, 3 versus 1. Astralis, they should know he doesn't have a kit whatsoever. They don't even need to face that at all. One player can be given away at that point to stop their initial defuse. But the fact they're giving him an opportunity in this situation here, as soon as that kill comes in, you can see Device wants to get away. He knows the angle's going to be too tight to fall away towards short. He's trying to get back, but it's not enough. The full spray, running around the corner is pretty much the only option that Friss had there. It's a massive round for them to win. That full spray is somehow working in their favor. It's a 3 versus 1 of a silent USP. Showing his experience there, Friss brings another round in favor of SK Gaming. 11 plays 8 now, another force buy. No one wanting to give in or relent here.
I mean, the issues with games like this, and it's definitely more pressure on Astralis being the team playing from behind right now, is when you get desperate, when you think, okay, they're so close, they're still breakable, let's force because we can take back the lead. If it starts to fall apart, as soon as one team wins 2 in succession, they're going to have such a huge economic lead in this.
Okay, well.
So Astralis could be in a world of shambles right now, but Device again is going to find Valdi. He's gone on toward this A site, and there's also been massive damage done through the boards. Look at Freeze and Glaive.
Well, it looks like, yeah, they've done a ton of damage here, and they've got the man advantage as well. At this point, maybe the CD reaction. The problem is the AWP is still alive for Friss, but he's watching towards long right now. Whatsoever. It's going to be a big kill here. It's Monty that gets it. Headshot on towards Dupree. Someone had to step up there, and it's Monty to do so, but he takes a ton of damage in the process once again. It's going to be Astralis still with a huge advantage here. Cillian on the side by himself. Smoke is helping him reposition himself.
Freeze thinks he's so clever with this position, but his timing could be off. Or is it? Because Zipex is right there, but which way is he looking? Well, that's a gift. I think he pulled out the knife to run toward his teammates and realized there was one right in front of him, but either way, he'll take it. Close out on Glaive as well, rotating back in from the stairwell, and Madi, 1 versus 4, is going to go down immediately, so the force buy does pay off. Now the question is, does SK take the same approach? Because as we mentioned, they're so desperate. Yeah, this is way worse off for them in terms of money.
This is a full reset at this point. They can't even... Oh, God, they are doing it. Okay. Well, I guess at this point, it's going to be double eco anyway, regardless, right? So they can force into and get the 5.7s. They know they don't have much to work on. They might as well take the risk, I guess. But at this point, Astralis have got the bank accounts well. Okay, it wasn't a close round at that point. They know they've got full rifles, orbs here. It's not going to be such a close round this one. You can assume Astralis will take this round. They might as well gamble, I guguess. They're, like I said, double eco regardless. So take the 5.7s, take the armor, see what you can do with it. But this is...
and like we say as well, where it's only 1 round for Astralis. If they can somehow miraculously pull this off, which isn't unimaginable considering the sloppy play we've seen on these ecos, it goes boot on the other foot immediately. So I can understand the justification in both senses of the double eco and the possibility to break them.
We'll see what they decide to do. Also be stacked towards certain area map, very aggressive towards connector perhaps.
I think that might have been tactical, by the way. Just I don't read and understand Danish, but there's a lot of chatter between the two teams. So I'm assuming that was a technical, sorry, not tactical.
I think you're right. It was quite a quick pause as well. So there's not really much to discuss here when you've got the 5.7s armor stacked somewhere. How to go aggressive. There's not much much you can do in terms of execution or try and work a first pick. Just need to hope for the best, and those crossfires work in your favor. Astralis can be well aware of the financial situation for SK Gaming right now. They can hold up. Don't need to force the issue here. Hold back. And make sure you're trading effectively at this stage. Round number 21 comes in. Chance for Astralis to claw the way back into this one. Potentially going to be another eco here if SK can't find this round.
Dupree, Kerrigan, watching over toward Monster. No one really getting aggressive right now for Astralis. They know the situation with these weapons, so they don't really need to go this early to get map control. Instead, they'll wait to see if there's a push coming through, which they may get one in their favor. Freeze is so close to that front rocket long.
The aim of the game, full default, I should say, and bleed out any sort of utility the CDs have. Try and get some sort of gauge as to whether they've forced up with Famished or shotguns or something like that. They've kind of established now there's pistols available, so that gives us some information. Stick together, keep the range nice and long. They probably could fall back towards A. You can see, though, interesting enough, Device by himself, and Frisk did get a drop on him here. Headshots him initially. Takes under 35 HP as well, but he takes a little damage himself and has the disadvantage of the position. Backed up by his teammate Device, lives to fight another day. They take down Frisk, another man advantage. That's exactly what they wanted. Hold up the default, see if there is any aggression of the CTs. It's Frisk that goes for it, but I think it's taken down, and now they can stick together, execute to the 88 side score. Maybe go back for his T-spawn. The bomb, the timer is ticking away, so they need to get the skates on it. They could be in a little bit of trouble.
That was a good headshot from Freeze, but Device saw that flash come over, so he expected a push, so he was looking out toward that fence.
Good news.
But this is, B open. They've waited long enough that Maudy's actually gone, as always, lurking, but he's bypassed them. So bomb's going to get planted out of this. KRB needs to be a little bit careful. With Maudy coming back in, great shot. That's now a gun up. And it is still a 4-on-4. Xyp9x is late to get into this. Sicilian's going to be hot on his heels. Device is going to try and come back out and cut off this water position, but Valdi already through the smoke. Thankfully, Dupree able to hold on inside of the site. 2 kills for him. And Sicilian is going to be looking for exits at best. It is an AWP picked up for Maudy.
Got a little bit interesting now, the time ticking away, but it's just very composed play from Kerrigan there, getting his teammates into the site, and hopefully the stacks did work in their favor. But here we go then. It's going to be a 2 versus 1. Dupree on 1 HP. Astillion is going to be saving the AK-47 at this point. He has got armor as well, so that's very valuable taking to the next round. After that force buy, though, they're only going to get $1,900 in the next round, so that AK is very valuable indeed. Definitely can try and do something with that.
1 HP goes to the A site to save his AK, and still goes down from there in the blast radius. You can never run far enough on this map with 1 HP.
It's true. Well then, SK Gaming, AK in hand, but like I said, don't really have the justification to force into this one. They're going to have to take us on the chin, and the chance for Astralis, after 7-0 down, will be tying things up here at 11-11, so it's been a long water fair, but lots of back and forth action, and we'll see what Astralis can do. Surely just going to be more of the same. Hold up in the defaults, work out where that AK may lie. As soon as they get the information there, they know it's been saved, and then they can stick up together and just do more of the same. Simple execution required for the bomb site to pre-open things up. There it is, the AK-47. It's in the hands of Astillion. So now you can probably assume they'll adjust themselves, get together. Wall of smokes, just make sure you treat it like a gun round, and you're in that. Vold once again being absolutely lights out this game. Does find 1 kill, but he shut down.
Important kill from Kerrigan as well, because Vold getting that gun would have been massive with the man advantage to complement Astillion, especially, who is boosted, staring down that corridor, waiting for Kerrigan to try and advance. Remember, you do get the jump from that position, Astillion, because you see the feet from Kerrigan before he can see you, and AWP, sure, he can try and fire into the guy boosting you, but still there's a chance it's not going to land the headshot or collect enough of him with the AWP. Meanwhile, Device out toward long. They'll start to push in this position. Freeze is the one waiting.
Well, the good news is for Astralis, the 2 kills they have dropped, the guns haven't been picked up so far, so it's still just with that 1 AK-47. Plenty of time to work with as well. They're keeping the angles nice and long range here. Device leading the charge towards long A.
Interesting thing, just to mention that as well, is that they left Astillion near where that other AK is, so even if they can get to it, he can't do anything with it. He's already got an AK. But it is going to be flashes in, smokes out. Astillion goes for the flank. Device trying to clear this truck. He's actually walking back over closer to where Astillion's going to be shown from. Default's going to be exposed, and there it is. Astillion denies it, and Glaive gets Kerrigan. It's all down to Device. 1 versus 2. He's looking inside of the smoke. Can't find the intended target. Astillion's still in the open with that AK as well. He knows doesn't have to peek. 7 seconds. Device has managed to pick up the bomb on the way by, though, and with Glaive going down, has the back of the boxes to keep him held off, and he knows exactly where Astillion is off of this flash out, and now he can control it. Still, though, he wants to peek and try and take this fight. His second flash needs to get a better position in this post plant. and doesn't do it. So Asilian approaching, but Device hits the headshot.
What a close round there. SK Gaming looked like they had it under control. They had, 10 seconds remaining, just trying to stay alive as long as possible, running through the smoke, darting around the bomb site, just couldn't stay alive long enough there. Very composed play from Device, keeps the dream alive and bring things into 11-11. So like I said before, just that one AK can be enough to get you into these rounds. It came down to a very tight 1 versus 1 in the end. And there it is. Device to finish things off. No orbs here for the Terrorists, but it's going to be 3-2. Did have a great first half, it has to be said. He'll be heading towards long with the orb, getting on towards that flower bed. No presence from the Terrorists there whatsoever, so he'll be taking out this round for now. Looking like a B-set piece coming in. Very quick one as well from Astralis.
Quick indeed. Smoke out on the site, now on Catwalk. That allows Dupree, and all he has to focus on, exactly that. Perfect crosshair placement. Madi down. He's going to follow it up. Spins and catches Glaive as well. So 3 quick kills for Dupree on the entry. They lost Device in the process, but the round is firmly in their grasp as Bomb goes down on the site. Smokes on Window and Valdi. Freeze both looking to just look potentially an exits at this point, and only exits.
What's great about that round is as well, the scoreline's currently 5-2, right? But that's actually one of the first real gun rounds we've seen so far. It's been so back and forth in terms of the force fights. So Astralis, they're mixing things up. They know the orb's going to be there. He'll potentially going for an aggressive pick or going towards long. They change things up straight away. 5 AKs, simple execution, nice and fast, and it's Dupree. So reliable on those entry frags. Gets in there, does some serious work, 3 kills, and completely shuts out SK of the round. And finally, Astralis taking the lead for the first time in this game. Going to be 12-11 now. Looking very promising now going forward. It's going to be Freeze and Val just saving their weapons here. Don't really have much choice. And it's a really nice goal from Carrigan there. Nice and simple. Smoke onto the bomb site. Flashes go over. And he saw that little path that Dupree just had available to him. Just, like he said, didn't have to worry about anything else but barrels. Completely railed bodied in that area. And 2 more kills as well. Great stuff from him. Well then.
Astralis finally with the lead in this game. Took them this long to climb back to it.
This is the danger they have on this map. Regardless of whether they have a first bad half, they're so strong on T and CT. And we can see whether the CT aggression coming from Britain will amount to anything. They haven't forced into this round necessarily, using those save weapons to try and work the first pick once again. Another big round. If Britain can find the opening kill, which is going to be denied of, smoked and flashed out at the start of the round. And let's look at the Terrorists. They're sticking together, sticking towards long. Managed to negate the spread as well. This is perfect from them.
Very smart first flash as well, because Freeze was trying to go for that fast pick. They've bypassed the bathrooms. 3 players, Kerrigan, whether to be Kierby and Device going out toward long. They do get the trade onto Freeze. That's AWP down. Valdi's going to try and use the M4 now from the same position. And Molotov will hold them out slightly. Can't get the shot through it, but does burn Device post-mortem because he did do enough damage with the gun and originally that the final flames did close him off. Either way, it's Kerrigan back inside of the site and Madi drops. It brings this back to a 2 versus 1 and Glaive is a long way from the action.
Yeah, he's pretty far removed from the situation. The bomb's planted. He hasn't got a kit. Has got the AK-47. But this round was a far cry for them anyway. They managed to save an an M4 and an AWP. It's not quite enough. They made the round interesting. Some opening picks there, and it's going to be Carrigan picking up 3 kills to finish things off. 13-11 now. They do have another buy coming in for SK. This is one of their last lifelines, though. Things starting to slip away, and Astralis definitely under pressure at this point. To number 25, no orb once again from Astralis. Is happy to work this 5 rifle setup, and Device even said recently on social media, saying like he's more than happy to work the AKs. He's happy to do it. Doesn't have to have an AWP in his round every single time. It's not required in CS:GO. It's just kind of a formality we're kind of used to at this point. But you can definitely have 5 AKs and run a very effective approach to the Terrorist side.
Absolutely. I mean, the Terrorist side, you can be very explosive with those rifles, especially once the entry's done. If you're playing a pick strategy, it's fine, but it's paying off. Liquid did the same thing for a while with the Dread on T sides. Dupree does fall to a close shot from Freeze, though, but he needs to find his way out of this. He's going to try and hold off this angle. Inside of the flash, can't find it, though, and Zipics with Madi going down. It's Kirby to follow up onto the AWP player from the CT side. Valdi's doing what he can to get position back. Thankfully, Asilian is having his contribution felt and largely known inside of that A site to buy him the space. But once again, it's Zipics that's in this position. He's going to get caught off this time. Valdi's been a nuisance in a lot of these situations. Once more, he's trying to take advantage of his play against Device, but caught with a nade that time. Device does get the kill, and it's Glaive again, 1 versus 2. A little bit closer this time, has a chance. No bomb plant just yet, so he can get here in time to make a contest of it. But it could very quickly, if he doesn't do something, go to 14-11 in favor of Astralis.
Yeah, the man who will be filling in for Astralis at the major. Up against him in a 2 versus 1 now. But Astralis can see they're playing this very methodically. They have time to play with. They're not going to be forcing the issue, running into the bomb site. They have to be holding up for any flanks coming in here. Device with the bomb towards the bathrooms. allowing themselves to get some intel here. It's making Glaive question his position right now. He actually has no information whatsoever as to where they may be. He's going to take a huge gamble. It's going to work out in his favor. He needs to get his first pick, which he does do as well. Takes down Kiabi, needs a second. Doesn't work out though. Once again, Device delivering the goods there in another clutch situation and brings Astralis in 14-11. And that's broken the economy almost entirely for SK Gaming. They're up against the ropes. Almost a match point here for Astralis. They're going to have to go into Famus's M4s, no kits, a little bit of utility. But here we go then, Carrigan on the orb this time, and Astralis in a fantastic position here in the second half.
Absolutely, indeed, it's Carrigan that's on the AWP. Over toward the stairwell at A, waiting for that fast pick to come against him. Smoke out of the corner, but no one there. It's Freeze limited to just the FAMAS, as is Asilian and Maudie, and they play a lot more passively as a response. Glaive still peeking out to try and get information at the bottom of Squeaky, but no one there right now from Astralis. They're all working into the bathrooms. And there is crossfire potential, but they walk right by. They're not even checking. Asilian doesn't turn back. Veldy's done enough, though. Kirby's going to get one kill out of this, but look at Asilian's position. He's... Oh, sure, I was going to say to go down. It is closed out in the end by Freeze.
Yeah, it's going to be Valdi once again. They're relying on him for so many kills in these situations. It's a big round for SK Gaming. They managed to give themselves a huge advantage here. 4-on-2, Pacific and Carrigan. They'll be bowing out of this round just yet. A ton of time to play as well. Managed to get the bomb here, but it's Zipex going for the audacious play for the smoke. Gets to come towards Freeze, but he's quickly shut down by Asilian there. Now for 3 versus 1, Carrigan does change over to the AK-47. Modi in the short tunnel here, surely going to shut this one down. He runs off the shots, rounds it as well. And there it is, SK Gaming lives to fight another day. That could have been the GG moment right there. Still, Astralis will be applying the pressure. Can still fire into this one pretty easily. It will be 5 AKs once again. Let's see if they can deliver him round number 27, but that's coming down to Valdi once again. He's been so strong a player, we have to say. We've never seen him in an international event. Didn't even have a picture on HLTV until today. He's finding so many impactful kills and keeping SK Gaming alive in this series towards the end.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. A little bit of a quick stance from Astralis. I won't say quick play, but quick stance to get toward the short pipe toward construction. Because Monty and Glaive were a little bit slow to that position, but they are going to contest it regardless. Glaive flashed around the corner, and no follow-up is going to cost them on that because Dupree's easily able to get the headshot. Now they've got to rotate Asilian over early, and with 1:27, Astralis can slow this down and play the entire map.
Such a massive round here, and it's looking like it's slipping away from SK Gaming. If they do lose this, it's pretty much over. They're going to be fully reset, have no money going into potentially the last round. So 5-on-3, someone needs to step up massively here for the CTs. We can see Astralis not going to be forcing their way into the side. Device is continuing his prowess towards the A side, takes down Valdi as well. That's the danger man for SK Gaming. 5-on-2. Asilian needs an absolute godlike play here, but he's not going to be finding anything. He's facing towards Monster Tunnel, and you can see just a default stance from Astralis, waiting and using their time.
Device as well is still committed onto this A site, despite that everything's gone their way on B, and he'll find the last remaining kill on Freeze. It is now going to be, like you say, map point, and in that sense, group winning point. Astralis could advance straight through to the semifinals with one more round. SK will play in a decider match. Best of 3 determined tomorrow. And it's just 2 FAMASs left for Asilian and Freeze to try and keep the dream alive. Smoke for Asilian, some utility as well on Valdi. He's got 2 flashes, a can of flames, and then the smoke on Glaive, but it's just pistols on the bottom 3. Kirby already in, they found Asilian. It was one of the 2 rifles. Oh, he's going to get laid through the smoke. He may actually catch them off here. Does get a headshot too, and there's a low HP player inside of the site in the form of Dupree, but he's not found as easily. It does give Freeze a chance though, but he's lost. Rifle down. I was going to say to spray through. And there's a 1-on-2. Valdi's been aggressive and quite effective in many of these killing and duel situations, but with the bomb entering onto the B site and him trying to play a rotation game, it's not looking well.
What's the play here? Is it going all the way through T-spawn? They're trying to have the drop on them. The bomb will be planted right now. He hasn't got a kill. I think he knows this one's over. He's clutching at straws at this moment. Bomb planted. He's hoping for a rotation. That's all he really could have hoped for. Get the drop on them, the 5-7. He's just going to have to spread a face there. They're aware of his position, and that's going to be it. It's GG. It will be Astralis taking things 16-12, and after a 7-0 deficit going against them, that just shows you why they are one of the world's best overpass teams. Very impressive stuff from them. Once they worked out what was going on the team side, they managed to rectify themselves and get themselves 6 rounds. That's enough. And a very promising performance there from Device in the second half. Dupree as well, we're talking about 27 frags. Yep. Great stuff there, and you have to say that I tip my hat towards SK Gaming, a team that hasn't had much practice. They've had 2 weeks of this lineup to actually get things rolling with 7 maps in the map pool, and that was a very impressive result. They've already taken down a huge title today. form of Immortals. A close game against Astralis as well. They'll be disappointed, but definitely promising going forward in the tournament.
And again, they've got the best of 3 tomorrow, the decider match between the winner of either Immortals or Epsilon, but I have to look at a guy like VODs as well. I think there was an excellent debut today for his first international tournament. He was good in the first game, he was great in this game as well throughout. Definitely some aggressive mistakes here and there where, the inexperience perhaps playing with this team, not even just as a player, but getting caught out. He did have, I think, the highest deaths, which does say in a lot of situations he was going down a little bit early. But again, I have to point something on the Astralis side, and that's just Device. Yes, he ends with 25 kills and a great second half, but he was very slow in the AWP, and he is hands down the primary operator. With Cajun be gone, there's no more even the Dust 2 change up. It's Kierby coming in and filling a different role. Device has to hit those shots.
We have to remember this is the derby, right? The Danish derby. Players know exactly how everyone plays. I feel like Device maybe got a little bit rattled at the start there. He probably knows where they know where I face, they know how I play this map, so you can see him a bit rattled. He wasn't going for those aggressive peak to the start, but once he got rolling, that's when he really arrived towards the latter stages of that first half. He really did have massive impact there. I think he just kind of had to work out his game plan as they adjusted to his.
Yeah, well, that said, one of the guys who was excellent as well was Dupree. He's standing by right now with Smix.
That is absolutely correct. Dupree, first of all, congratulations. Always a good feeling to come out on first place in your group. We'll talk about this match in just a little bit, but first I want to ask, earlier when I spoke with Kierby before your match with ENCE, he mentioned that prior to that match you guys didn't think about it much at all. You just kind of went in and did your thing. This match, you guys were also the heavy favorites, so I'm wondering if it was the same mindset there, just kind of going in without much, preparation or thought.
I guess it's a little bit of both yes and no. Playing against ENCE, we knew we were the heavy favorite, and we played up to what people expected from us. We got off to a 9-0 lead, and then we started losing a little bit, but we actually ended up closing it out. Against SK, it's a little bit different. It's the Danish team. It's our friends, so we know how they play, and they know how we play. So, domestic matches are also a little bit more difficult, let's say. But yeah, I still think that even though we got behind 7-0 in this game, and we actually played pretty horrible in my opinion, then we still ended up showing that we were the better team.
Yeah, definitely for sure with how you guys were able to bring it back. But in terms of how it got that close to begin with, do you attribute that to some of their players really having a stand-up performance with Valda and Freeze really showing up, or do you think it was more of something on your guys' end?
Well, I don't want to take anything away from them, but I'd say that I personally lost the first buy round because I had 2 guys in the back. I failed and only got 1 guy, and then the next round as well, I could kill the bomb when he was rotating. I also failed that guy, so I cost at least 2 or 3 rounds there, which is pretty sucky. But obviously, they still had a few good individual plays, so I don't want to take any away from them. They hit their shots, and they were definitely playing well, so yeah.
And after you guys had just won, the camera actually panned over to you, and instead of looking happy, you just looked really relieved. You had this huge sigh of relief there. So I'm wondering, when it comes to playing another team from your home country, do you feel a little bit more pressure there?
Yeah, obviously, we're the best team in Denmark, so we have something to retain. I'd say we have something to prove that we're still the best team. So losing to another Danish team is never going to be acceptable for us. They did it at E-League, so we got a little bit of flashback, and since we got behind 7-0 and we didn't really play up to our A game, we started to get a little bit shaky, but we actually ended up closing out, which I was happy. So it was a little bit more than a relief than happy feeling, because I'd say in the end we thought we would have won a little bit bigger, especially on overpass.
Well, now that you guys are moving out in first place, you are headed straight to the semifinals, where you will be waiting the second place finisher of Group B. So now, are you guys just hoping that NIP just makes it out in first place?
Yeah, of course. I don't want to meet NIP in the semifinals. If we end up doing it, that'll be it. That's fine. I don't fear NIP at all, but I will much rather see ourselves against NIP in the final.
All right, well, congratulations again, Dupree. Of course, we will be heading back to the desk with Machine. Let's head over and analyze that match.
Great stuff, as always, Sue. Thank you very much. They're red, they're white, they're Danish dynamite. Astralis do manage to stabilize after what was a solid start from SK. The Danish DreamHack manager came up to us and was like, guys, it's going to change. You've got to believe in SK. And he just sat there sitting so damn smug the first 10 rounds. Then Astralis woke up, Dupree actually taking a lot of sole responsibility for that one.
He had a quote for it as well, I believe, Alex.
I don't know. You'll have to tell me. What was it?
You know how to say it.
Yeah, you tried to get it out of me, Robin. But let's kind of understand this one. We said Astralis were going to win, and they did. But let's try and address SK and the performance that they gave us.
I think it was the 3 players to talk about. In the first half, Madi was doing his job. As we mentioned, the guy solo on the other side of the map was able to walk into long B one round, get 2 picks off of it. Yeah. Other rounds, he was able to entry. He He was the reason they survived their anti-ecos. And then in the second half, and towards the end of the first half, you have VODs, right? Who's picking up kills, just getting more than one kill around quite often. And then, obviously, who am I missing? Freeze. Was hitting shots like Device wish he could have. I think he was hitting way more op shots overall and just having so much impact. He got an eco 1v2 with one HP or something like that on short, and another ace, I believe, or something like it. Yeah.
You were quite critical of that 1v2 though. You said it was misplayed by Astralis. Can you maybe quickly elaborate?
Yeah.
Why?
So just not to be too specific, there was just one guy sandbag, one guy short, and then he comes up short, and then they both kind of peaked at the same time, but then one of them fell off. So there's obvious miscommunication there, and it made me wonder what kind of headspace Astralis were in, right? Because that should never happen. In the 2v1 situation, you always establish who's taking contact, and it seemed like they didn't have that established.
Yeah. Bit messy from Astralis then? Are you going to criticize them at all?
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely messy. I think they very good showcase. Obviously, the start just goes to show that they were not really in it at the beginning. But I think the easiest way to actually look at how messy it was the second half and how they played that T side, because they couldn't hold off ecos. They were struggling even later on when they actually managed to win the anti-eco rounds. They were losing an insane amount of players. It would oftentimes go down to clutch situations or 2v2s or that type of thing, and that's not supposed to happen. You're supposed to be a lot safer if you're Astralis in that kind of a fight. So yeah, the entire T half, Dupree's talked about their CT side being sloppy, but I thought their T half was ever so slightly worse, because at least they showcased towards the end of the first half that they actually knew how to play their CT side.
Robin, I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about Device, and we suggested that I was wrong, and he has been having a fantastic few games, a few matches. In fact, it was like 8 offline events in a row he's had a positive rating. Again, top of the scoreboard. It seems like Device may very well be getting in that form, that exciting Device form we know, ahead of the major.
Sure. I actually do believe it was Dupree that was on top of the scoreboard, though.
27-25.
All right.
Damn,
fair.
you're right, you monster.
Just like with Mirage and Cobblestone.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, it's happened again.
that just comes to show for Dupree, how competitive he is on his own stake, on his own behalf as well, saying that he costed his team a lot of rounds. But then, if you look at it, he actually won them a lot of rounds as well. So, but yes, Device is actually, he has been stepping up as of late. I think it was more of last year when he wasn't really comfortable in the positions he was in, a little bit lost maybe. And we were talking about for the first map when they have 3 operas, right? So you don't really have to pinpoint. It was like, well, you are the primary opera. If we only have one, you get it every round. Didn't really have to do that before, whereas now he's been working on it obviously, and great rifler as well. So yeah, good group stage for both of them so far.
Do you think he's had enough time to fully adapt to this now main role, or this main opera role? Because I feel like that's a very long process to go from being a bit of both to
Device?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Or if he says he has, then he's not good enough, in my opinion, to actually be a main opera at that caliber. Then I think the team is just better off actually having a bit of a loose flow to it, as if Device is definitely feeling it and wants to pick up an op. Then sure, you can go ahead and do that, but otherwise at least allow Kerrigan to potentially take that role off of you, because it's like we saw multiple times during the game. He's missing shots you don't expect him to miss.
He doesn't expect himself to miss.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
So, and he has main ops before, right? There were times where on the old Dignitas lineup where he would op in place of Fetish because he was just a better player than Fetish, so he would op better than Fetish. Yeah. And then people were like, well, why aren't you main opping, right? And so he's no stranger to doing it on a big stage, or when he's expected to do it every single round. So
But
no
still,
excuses. I'm sure
there's room to grow is what we're trying to highlight.
Absolutely.
For him with that AWP. Right, let's have a look at that group then, just to get our head around what we've got next, what we've got coming up tomorrow, and of course what we have witnessed already. Group A looks pretty predictable. You can see that Astralis have picked up that spot over SK Gaming. 16-12 was the score. And now we'll be seeing Ents Immortals tomorrow, those elimination games coming up, and you can see what else is coming up. We get NIP versus Godsend. That's our final game of the day, and I know the Swedish crowd will be making an extra bit of noise for not only the Ninjas, but Godsend as well, who seem to have garnered quite a fan base quite quickly, which is great to see. There's a lot of Godsend t-shirts in that crowd. We're going to take a quick break, guys, but when we do come back, we're going to be seeing the final game of the day, a Swedish affair on Swedish soil. Before we go, if you want to know just how exciting these games have been, if you want to know just how much Dupree was top fragging over Device, you monster, 27-25, it was 2 frags off. Do be sure to check out the Score Esports application. You can get all the stats and more available on any smartphone device, so just do it, and I'll keep telling you to do it anyway. Go grab it, and we'll be back after the break with our final game.